All right. Welcome back, everybody, to Altcoin Daily. My name's Austin. If you invest in traditional markets, this affects you. If you invest in Bitcoin, this affects you. If you're just looking to get into the market, this affects you. With only 6 days left of the original 15 days to slow the spread campaign, with just 6 days left, it's becoming increasingly clear that President Trump will be going against his medical disease prevention team and sending Americans back into the workplace. This goes against his Surgeon General's advice, this goes against Dr. Birx's advice, and this goes against all of Dr. Fauci's warnings, saying it's too early, we need more time. Listen to him rationalize to the American people that yes, things are going to get worse before they get better, but at the same time, we will be opening back up our country, we will be sending Americans back to work soon.
Thank you, Mr. President. If I could, the Washington Post is reporting that the total deaths today crossed 100 for the first time. This morning, your Surgeon General on the Today Show said he wanted Americans to understand that this is going to get really bad. Do you share that prognosis?
Of course I do. It's going to be bad, and we have a lot of people dying from the flu, as you know. We have a very bad flu season on top of everything else. It's very bad. It looks like it could be over 50,000. And certainly this is going to be bad, and we're trying to make it so that it's much, much less bad. And we're going to be opening our country up for business because our country was meant to be open and working with others, but especially for our workers. And the engine for that whole system is we have to have companies, and these companies are loved by our workers because they're paying big salaries and big dollars to our workers, and we're going to get it all going again very soon, hopefully very, very soon. Please.
Sir, I'm just trying to reconcile the two things that you just said. One, that things are going to be very, very bad, and two, that you want to get the country open back up as quickly as possible. So I guess my question is, if in a week Dr. Birx or Dr. Fauci are telling you we need to continue these measures for the health of the vulnerable populations of the country, are you going to say, I'm sorry, the economy is too important?
Well, you'll see what happens. I understand the question very well. It's a great question, but we can do two things at one time. I will say this, our country's learned a lot.
Okay. Now, I'm not here to tell you what's right. I mean, it's a complicated issue. We're going to have to make some difficult trade-offs, as Trump said. But it's an issue now of public health versus the economy. We are seeing a clear disconnect between his disease prevention team and Trump. But let's just be real. If the 15 days wasn't enough, realistically, how long is his disease prevention team telling Trump this is how long America needs? How long?
Geographically, and it may have to also be very tailored by age group, really understanding who's at the greatest risk and understanding how to protect them.
But there's data showing that in 3 months, as the president said, we won't need to follow these broad guidelines that he's laid
The
out.
only data that we all have, and I think you all know what it is, the two areas that have moved through their curve is China and South Korea. So those are the two countries that we're learning from. Those were 8 to 10 week curves. Each state in each hotspot in the United States is going to be its own curve because the seeds came in at different times. So Washington State is on their curve. They're about 2 weeks ahead of New York. And so each of these have to be done in a very granular way to really understand where we are. And it's the charge that the president has given us is to use all of our data analytics and all of our data inputs to really define those issues about where the virus is, where is it going, and what predictions we can make about where we are in that bell-shaped curve.
Okay. So the recommended amount of time is 8 to 10 weeks. That's around 2 to 3 months. Keep in mind, right now we are 8 days in to the 15-day slow the spread campaign that we started. 8 days compared to the recommended 8 to 10 weeks. But let's listen to Trump one more time. Listen to him double down on his plan of sending Americans back to work.
At some point, we're going to open up our country, and it's going to be fairly soon.
Weeks or months? Because you seem to be
I'm not looking at months, I can tell you right now. We're going to be opening up our country, And we're going to be watching certain areas, and we're going to be practicing everything that Deborah's referring to right here. I mean, we're going to be watching this very closely, but you can't keep it closed for the next, for years. Okay, this is going away.
Okay. Again, I'm not saying that I know the right answer. In fact, I wish we had more data. Now, much of the data that we've been receiving to make our decisions is coming from Italy and China. Now, with Italy, it's confirmed. They're getting worse. And I don't know why the mainstream media is choosing to trust China's numbers now, as if they're credible. China falsified all their statistics from the start. I mean, it was the CCP's cover-up, which is what led to this pandemic in the first place. China lied to us before. They have since then kicked out all our reporters, American reporters. Why would we choose to trust their statistics now? Either way, at the end of this week, Trump will make an announcement. He will make a decision about opening up America's economy again. And as an investor, as a Bitcoin holder, I'd pay attention. These are unprecedented times. Now, this last clip may be the most eye-opening of all. Trump throws Dr. Birx what he thinks is a softball of a question. He expects an easy yes. She doesn't say yes. Trump asks again, expecting an easy yes. She doesn't say yes. Watch this.
I have a question for you. So we have a lot of very angry media all around this room, and they want one of these seats. But because of social distancing, we are keeping them empty, and they are keeping them empty. Will there ever be a time when all of those really angry people who don't like me much to start off with, but now they really don't like me, will there ever be a time when these seats are full to the brim like it used to be, where people are almost sitting on each other's lap, and this whole row over here is packed, and now they're outside wanting to get in, and they're very jealous of all of these reporters? Will we ever have that again, or is that something that will be, it'll look like this forever?
So we're learning a lot about social distancing and respiratory diseases. And I think those are the discussions we have to have in the future. It was what you were talking about, changing our whole behavior patterns of what we touch and being conscious of that. I remember when I was worried Saturday morning, I was trying to think, what all did I touch on Friday? Did I touch a doorknob? Did I do this? Did I do that? Did I not wash my hands? I mean, you go through this whole piece. Did I touch my face by accident? So I think this awareness that we all now have that we didn't have before, where we would have pushed through that door or turned that doorknob because we were in such a hurry. Now I think all of us think twice. I think all of you think twice.
But when the virus is gone, will the people be allowed to sit next to each other again, in your opinion, in a tight room with a tight...
I don't know. You'll have to look and see if we have a new respiratory piece. Certainly, this is the way we set up every clinic all around the world when we're worried about TB and TB transmission.
Dr. Birx, I'm wondering if you could comment on the...
All right, that's the video for today. My name's Austin. If you found value, throw the video a like. It helps me, helps the channel grow. But like always, I'll see you tomorrow.
And they said, we're going to have to close the country. I said, we've never closed the country before. This never happened before. You're saying... I said, are you serious about this? We are going to take this country that's fully employed, where we have 160 million people working, and you're telling me we have to close it? And people are going to go out of business, and they're going to go bankrupt, and they're not going to have jobs? What are we talking about here? Don't forget, this has never been done. We've had flus before. We've had viruses before. So this is something new. And this is why I say we have to... I gave it 2 weeks, and I guess by Monday or Tuesday it's about 2 weeks, and we'll assess at that time, and we'll give it some more time if we need a little more time. But we have to open this country up.
When they came to you and had that conversation with you, how long did it take you to accept that new reality?
Well, I accept things. I understand things very quickly. I mean, I understood exactly what they were saying. But we can socially distance ourselves and go to work, and you'll have to work a little bit harder. You can clean your hands 5 times more than you used to. You don't have to shake hands anymore with people. That might be something good coming out of this. Although I must tell you, as a politician, it's a lot warmer when you walk into a crowd and you're shaking a lot of people's hands. You love those people.
I'd agree with you.
They love me and I love them, but it is a little bit colder. But you won't be shaking hands for at least a while. and things will happen. But we have to put the country to work. Look, you're going to lose a number of people to the flu, but you're going to lose more people by putting a country into a massive recession or depression. You're going to lose people.